All right, I'm joined with Rhea. We have breaking news, unfortunate news, not bad news, but I'm I called this. If people are going to say that that I was a Gunn hater or I didn't give Flash a chance, you were there. You know I gave Flash a chance. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but I just didn't think it was good enough. It wasn't good enough. And I right after the Flash, I said Muschietti most likely will not be still on for Batman the Brave and the Bold. Now, what's happening now is even Movie Talk is confused, Rhea. There's different sides of Movie Talk saying Muschietti says that Matt Reeves' Pattinson does not fit in James Gunn's universe. And then there's the John Campia's live streaming now that say James Gunn's looking for a new director for Batman the Brave and the Bold. I'm saying it might not even be Batman the Brave and the Bold anymore. And it might not even be Pattinson. It might be James Gunn looking to do Batman himself, right? And direct it himself. Now, I would like to see that movie, but this is the first time I could really say that James Gunn's version of DC, it's not good. It's not good. It's not a good look right now for the Batman to have all this different information flying out there, confusion when you have like the most hard reboot that we're ever going to get in DC. Like they tried to do a semi reboot with Hamadaverse, and people aren't going to believe me because every time I say this, they're not going to believe me. But this is very similar to when Ben Affleck and James Gunn had a discussion, and Gal Gadot and James Gunn had a discussion, and David Ayer and James Gunn had a discussion. It seems like they left all those meetings with different things in their mind of where it was going. Gal Gadot still thinks she might be Wonder Woman, based on her. So whatever James Gunn's doing, I implore you, James Gunn, I want you to succeed. I think you need to do a better job with your other creatives where you're not involved directly with the making the project so they understand where they're at. Because I don't think Muschietti knows. And I don't think James Gunn and Muschietti are on the same page. For one thing, recently, this is facts. This is from Collider. I will bring this up real quick. Muschietti told Collider, I'm now writing a science fiction movie that I would like to do. Batman's project has been postponed a bit. So there could be another film before it, possibly that one. It doesn't seem like he's like anywhere near even where the Batman 2 is. The Batman 2, we at least have a starting date with Pattinson said he's getting in shape. Reeves is on the red carpet saying that and saying, hey, there's even possibility if they could figure out how to bring Pattinson, as long as it doesn't interfere with me, that's fine. But Muschietti just a couple weeks ago was saying that it has been postponed. And then a fan of James Gunn went to James Gunn, and only clarification he said is it's not. And then the reports now are coming that he may not even be involved with it. It doesn't seem like Batman the Brave and the Bold, at least with Andy Muschietti, is like going forward right away right now. If Muschietti was talking about another project in between. So it's a lot of confusion. There's different parts of Movie Talk or taking a stance on it. Oh, it's definitely not going to be Matt Reeves. Pattinson doesn't fit. He's not the right tone. And then Muschietti today, Rhea, this is the news today. He said, oh, yeah, Matt Reeves' Batman doesn't fit the tone of the DCU. But then you also have James Gunn saying, I thought about it. So I know that's even confusing to tell you if you're not up to date on it in the audience. I apologize. But the main thing I'm trying to point from making this video is it's confusing to the audiences. It's confusing to the creatives, even where they stand with DC. And it's not a good look. And I think James Gunn needs to work on this better communication to his creatives that he's not directly making the film. Is that a fair point to you? It's confusing a little bit to the audience, DC fans and Batman fans, where Batman's going to be right now. Doesn't seem like Batman the Brave is a priority. At least not as far as Batman 2. Batman 2 looks like it's going to go in forward before Batman the Brave and the Bold. If he's talking about a sci-fi movie, do you have any thoughts on that, Rhea? The confusion surrounding this Batman in James Gunn's DC.
Yeah, I was actually a little shocked that Muschietti came out on a podcast and announced or kind of alluded to other projects that he's working on in the meantime. And I feel like if there was, not saying that he shouldn't have done the podcast because, he wants to, market his other projects, but yeah, I'm wondering how much communication they gave to him prior in order to prepare for those types of public speaking appearances, because it would have made more sense to me if there was like a non-disclosure. I'm sure there was like some sort of agreement not to share too much information, but it doesn't even seem like Muschietti is in the know about the latest status of, okay, what information has changed, like what am I allowed to mention about the project. But because it appears that he knows just enough to know that it's been delayed, that he can't speak to it too much. So I feel bad that DC Studios kind of put him in that position where he can't speak to it too much. But I also compare it to how Matt Reeves is talking about the Batman 2, and other folks are asking semi-unrelated questions like how are the other DC Studios projects going, and are you going to do this, and this, and they try to Reeves and Muschietti kind of try to navigate away from that and focus on other projects that are absolutely in the pipeline. So it could be that he doesn't know, but it could also be that there is information that is still processing that they're genuinely trying to be oblique about.
Yeah. I have a negative view of Hollywood, not like some other people online, but I think they're disorganized. I will give James the benefit of the doubt because he's very busy. It's not like he's not doing anything, but I don't think there's much communication between Gunn or Muschietti at all. And honestly, the way James Gunn answers fans is problematic too, because he might be implying that because the script isn't done, that it's not delayed because he hasn't seen a script, But Muschietti is giving interviews because he's promoting other projects, including a sci-fi movie, because he knows it's not going to get done anytime soon. So he's like, it's delayed a little bit. I have another project I'm working on. I think the lack of communication there, and I do believe, and people get mad at me when I say this, Hollywood does this just like Rian Johnson's trilogy was like, it's almost like you can include it into the promotion for your Last Jedi or The Flash. Oh, this director's getting a whole new project. That must mean it's really good. It's like free promotion where they don't really have to follow through. It feels like Batman the Brave and the Bold it's not going to come out like it was. I called it a long time ago. I don't want to be right. I like Andy. I hope it works out, but there's a big question mark on Batman still, and it's going to be a topic of conversation for Movie Talk for quite some time. And I'm begging you, James, get this together with your creatives. Call Andy. Get on the same page if you still want Andy to do Batman the Brave and the Bold, and do some clarification, because it doesn't sound like it sounds like it's all over the place right now of the information we're getting, and it sounds like it may have just been a PR announcement for the Flash. But who things have changed in the story too after he made Batman the Brave and the Bold announcement before he filmed the Superman. Maybe he has something in his mind. I'm going to tell you right now, just like James said, I don't know who's going to direct Superman. I'm feeling in James Gunn's mind, and I'm sure he's going to do an amazing job. I'm feeling more likely that James Gunn is going to direct the Batman movie for the DCU than Andy Muschietti is my prediction. And I'll be okay with that, but I know a lot of people that aren't. And I know that's bad PR too. That's my final thoughts on it. I appreciate you joining me with this, Ray. What's your speculation? I know you like all the creatives. You like James Gunn, Andy Muschietti, Matt Reeves. What's your just prediction? I just don't think it's happening the way it was announced in the slate.
Yeah, the way it was announced in the slate, I think, is still like, kind of like in the distance as far as like what to expect. But I do think that because we know that incorporating Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU is kind of like a soft, I think it's a hard maybe right now. It used to be like a soft, maybe like anything's possible, but like it still is. But I think it's a hard maybe right now. And that is probably possibly delaying Batman Brave and the Bold, because they'd have to figure out, okay, is Brave and the Bold going to incorporate Robert Pattinson? Are we even going to use Robert Pattinson? Are we going to introduce Robert Pattinson in another DCU film. Like, so with that in mind, I think I can understand why there is like some disconnect between what Muschietti and maybe even Reeves knows about the projects, but they are aware that there are decisions pending around the Robert Pattinson incorporation.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who do you think's more likely to direct Batman at this point? Just pure speculation. James Gunn or Muschietti?
I want to. I'll say Muschietti is
okay.
Muschietti is going to come back. I think there is some goodwill there. I think that
they like each other.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a matter of like his creativity or his relationship with the Flash performance, but yeah, him as a creator. I think that with enough visuals aligning in Superman that's coming out this year to what we saw in the Flash, and then Andy's hand in the Flash creating those visuals, I think that there is like, you know, enough reason to believe that if they continue on that path of kind of aligning different, you know, graphic styles and presentation of the film, then perhaps that allows additional, you know, possibility or plausibility for Andy to come back.
Okay. That's very positive thought. I hope you're right. I think also the talking about Matt Reeves and the possibilities, that would be I think about the way Hollywood works, and they don't really say canceled. They say, oh, things changed or different opportunities came up. So I could easily see James Gunn saying, well, we had an opportunity to bring Pattinson into the DCU. Matt Reeves said, as long as it makes sense and it doesn't interfere with his project. And then Muschietti was busy developing a sci-fi project, so the timing didn't always work out. And I could easily see a way James Gunn could spin it where it doesn't seem like he was kicked off or fired or canceled. And he wasn't really. And he has lots of opportunities, especially after it. So I really see it going that way. Oh, he became busy. He had other opportunities. And then
the It TV show, right?
Yeah. Yes. And then another way is after the success of the Penguin, we reevaluated bringing Pattinson back into this universe, and we found a way to make it work. So we no longer need a Batman the Brave and the Bold movie. I could easily see it going that way. But get your thoughts in. Thank you, Rhea. We're going to set up Mario Kart. Get your thoughts in on this topic. And it's hard to be right sometimes. I know a lot of my commenters can be like, you just said that because you were a hater. I'm like, no, it's the way Hollywood works. They announce things to do promotion. It doesn't always, you very rarely get things exactly the way they're announced by the time they're in theaters. Very rarely. Okay, bye everyone. Have a good one.